Cherry blossom trees are one of the most beloved trees in the world. They are famous for their breathtaking pink and ivory blooms. I have admired these stunning trees for decades and have extensively researched into them. I'll share everything you need to know about cherry blossom trees in this guide, along with care tips to grow them easily. You don't have to travel to botanical gardens to catch sight of these beautiful cherry blossom trees. These elegant blossoming trees can thrive in any home garden under the proper conditions, providing years of serene beauty. Brighter Blooms offers several types of flowering cherry trees that will impress onlookers with a spectacular show of cherry blossom flowers. Cherry blossom trees also offer colorful autumn leaves, handsome bark, and quick growth while requiring little care, making them ideal for home gardens. There is no doubt that if you want a tree with a wow factor in spring, then an ornamental or flowering cherry is the perfect choice. Today, we will look at the location, sunlight, water, soil, fertilizer, mulch requirements for growing this tree. Let's look at the location where you can plant the cherry tree. Choose a location with full to partial sun, adequate soil drainage, and ample room for the fully grown branches. We recommend that you allow 10 to 20 feet of space between trees so that you can enjoy their handsome growth habit. If planting near a house, be mindful of falling petals and falling leaves. Flowering cherries prefers an open and sunny site which isn't too exposed. Strong winds in spring will blow away much of the blossom, reducing the overall flowering display. So, where should you plant your cherry blossom tree? Cherry blossom trees need lots of sunlight and soil that is rich and fertile. Check the growing zone recommended for your species of flowering cherry. Experts suggest choosing a spot in the garden or yard that provides at least 6 hours of direct sunlight per day. The soil beneath your flowering tree should also have good drainage for proper growth. Flowering cherry trees can grow anywhere from 15 to 30 feet high with a canopy just as wide, so choose a location that can support the tree's mature size. Choose a sunny, well drained site in your garden, preferably with some afternoon shade to protect the delicate pink blossoms from late day sun. Next factor, sunlight. Cherry blossom trees grow best in full sun with at least 6 hours of direct sunlight a day. Some varieties will tolerate some shade. In areas prone to droughts, be sure to plant the tree in a location where it will get partial shade and mulch around the base to retain moisture. The more sun these trees receive, the more spectacular their spring blooms will be. However, they can tolerate partial shade, especially in warmer zones where the afternoon sun can be intense. Planting these trees in full sun also helps prevent common pests such as aphids, caterpillars, and disease like leaf spot and powdery mildew by ensuring the leaves dry out properly after a drain. Next factor, water. After you plant your flowering cherry tree with a 50-50 soil mix, water your tree deeply. This tree cannot survive in standing water. However, most of the water will run away until the soil is fully soaked. Water young trees weekly, increasing to twice weekly during dry weather to help them get established. After the first two seasons, watering every 2 weeks is sufficient, with more watering during droughts. Long soakings, enough to soak the ground all around the roots, are better for these trees than quick showers. Only water the trees during prolonged dry periods of summer. Cherry blossom trees do not like sitting in soggy soil. Watering is crucial for the health and vitality of your cherry blossom tree. Make sure not to overwater, as this can lead to root rot and other diseases. In periods of droughts, it is important to provide supplementary watering to keep the soil evenly moist. However, in cooler months, you can reduce watering as the demand for moisture decreases. This tree can demonstrate an impressive resilience, but for peak blooms and blossoms, regular and ample watering is a must. Next factor, soil. This tree is not particular to soil pH, but it grows best in rich soil options. It thrives best in well drained, moist, and fertile soil. Choose a 50-50 soil and compost option to ensure your tree lasts for years. Cherry blossom trees can adapt to a variety of soil types, including sandy and clay options, but they prefer moist, well drained, acidic soil. They prefer a good, well drained soil enriched with lots of organic matter, which holds plenty of moisture in spring and summer and doesn't dry out or become waterlogged. They'll grow in most soil types, especially chalky and alkaline soils. Stake the tree with a rigid tree stake and two tree ties so that it is fully supported against the prevailing winds. Water in well and apply a granular general feed over the soil around the tree. Cherry trees do best in a well drained soil that retains enough moisture to keep the roots healthy and hydrated, but is never waterlogged. A slightly acidic to neutral pH is ideal for these trees. For successful cultivation and to achieve pink flowers in early spring, your cherry blossom tree also requires soil that is rich in organic matter. Amending with a compost or rooted manure can provide the needed fertility. A slightly acidic to neutral pH is ideal for these trees. For successful cultivation and to achieve pink flowers in early spring, your cherry blossom tree also requires soil that is rich in organic matter. Amending with the compost or rotted manure can provide the needed fertility. Next factor, fertilizer. Test the soil to see if your tree has any deficiencies that require fertilizer. If modification or enrichment is needed, a slow release fertilizer specifically designed for cherry or ornamental flowering trees may be applied once every spring. Cherry trees grow best if they are fertilized lightly in the spring once frost has passed with a well balanced fertilizer. Fertilize again 6 to 8 weeks later to encourage denser foliage or faster growth of young trees. Either chemical fertilizers or organic matter can be used successfully with cherry trees. These trees thrive on well drained soil that is rich in organic matter. I recommend applying a slow release balanced fertilizer early in spring as the tree prepares for blossoming. Remember though that over fertilization can lead to problems such as leaf spot, powdery mildew, and an increase in pests such as aphids and caterpillars. Hence, it is essential to refrain from too heavy hand with the fertilizer. Feed the tree once per year with a general granular fertilizer in the spring. Next feature, mulch. Be sure to mulch around the base of the trees to help retain moisture, regulate soil temperature, and to keep the roots cool. Ensure the soil around these delicate trees is always enriched with much needed micronutrients by adding a layer of organic mulch. This also helps in maintaining soil moisture levels, which is crucial given cherry trees' sensitivity to droughts. I recommend that you mulch your flowering cherry tree with either a ground hardwood mulch or a ground cypress mulch, depending on your local availability. Any type of mulch will do, but cypress or hardwood mulch will be of higher quality and provide better nutrition overall as they break down. To ensure the blooms are vibrant come April, a layer of mulch around the base of a tree can provide extra warmth and retain moisture. Both cherry blossoms and leaves benefit immensely from this practice. Add a 5 to 7.5 centimeter deep mulch of well rotted garden compost or bark chippings around the root area. Next, planting time. Early fall is the best planting time for bare root flowering cherry trees, while container grown specimens can be put in the earth during fall and after the last spring frost. Flowering trees need time to get their roots established before the summer heat arrives, moderately 2 and 4 feet a year. Growth rate. Let's look at the growth rate of these trees. Flowering cherry trees grow at a rate of between 1 and 2 feet per year, and once they are planted and properly established, cherry blossom tree require little care afterwards. A medium sized tree grows 15 to 30 feet tall. The tree grow and establish themselves relatively quickly, but they don't last very long. Their lifespans are usually 15 to 25 years long, though in optimal conditions they have been known to reach 30 to 40 years of age. On the other hand, some, like black cherry trees, can live much longer. Black cherries have been known to reach 250 years old under the right conditions. Now, about the um, pets. One warning to keep in mind for pet owners: seeds, leaves, and stems of cherry blossom trees are toxic to dogs, cats, and horses. Next factor: temperature and humidity. Most cherry blossom trees need winters that aren't too harsh. Cool temperatures of about 45 degrees Celsius are essential for the dormancy period that allows them to blossom in the spring. Humidity doesn't impact cherry trees. However, they do require consistent moisture and need more frequent watering during hot, dry months. Trees that are planted in a location with favorable conditions will typically bloom well. Weather can sometimes be a factor. If hard frost happens once the buds appear, it can cause the tree to lose its blooms for the season. However, the tree should return to blooming next year. Cherry blossom trees are highly adaptable to range of temperature zones. In case of droughts, make sure to water them sufficiently to maintain the delicate balance of moisture that the stunning trees require to thrive and put up a spectacular show of pink blossoms come April. Color. Cherry blossom bloom in several shades. Many are light pink, while others have darker pink flowers or white flowers, depending on several factors. Some have yellow green or white green blooms that turn pink as they age. So that the plin so plant a tree and save millions of lives. A tree equals a natural oxygen cylinder. Plant a tree and help your children breathe in future. In here you can see my cherry blossom tree. Yes, I am a proud plant parent. I had it around 10 years ago and I received it as a gift, and I'm really grateful because it is one of the most beautiful flowering tree I have ever seen. Thank you for listening to my plant care tips.